Hey there, guys. Welcome to today's live stream, our weekly Wednesday live stream. And before I get started, I do want to mention that in the next few days, which is going to be on January 16th, um, I'm going to be starting my 14-day New Year online fitness challenge, or Build a New You online fitness challenge. So that'll be starting in a couple days on Monday, and of course it'll last for 14 days. I do have a few people that have signed up. You can still sign up. I do have the link on my on the group page as well as on my Facebook profile. If you can't find it, I can always send it to you to sign up. It doesn't require any payment method to sign up, so be sure to check it out. You'll get access to my Trainerize app program where I keep all my workouts. As far as for my clients, you'll get access to Evolution Nutrition, which is a nutrition based meal planning service. So you get access to all of that included with your 14-day trial. So definitely check it out and see if it works out for you. And then after the trial ends, I would love to talk to you and see sort of where we can go from there as far as your fitness goals and what we can do beyond. So definitely check it out. As far as anything else, that's pretty much all I have for today as far as any announcements. So let's go ahead and get started and talk about hydration. So this is a topic that's probably not very common, not many people talk about, but it is very important to be aware of. And this is something that I guess I can relate to a lot because I do drink water all the time. So it's one of the things that I'm, pretty, I guess, headstrong on is drinking water. So let's go ahead and start by sort of explaining why hydration is important. So, water, of course, is essential. So it serves many purposes. It's vital to sustain life. Our bodies themselves are composed of 60% water for adults, and women are at a slightly lower percentage of water versus men. Now, some of the things to keep in mind as far as the functions that water serves. So, water helps with the regulation of body temperature. It also helps with transporting and distributing water soluble nutrients, which is actually something that I would talk about next week when I talk about vitamins. And there's a lot of water soluble vitamins. That's mainly vitamin. You've got vitamin C, and then all the B complex vitamins that are considered water soluble vitamins. It also helps with maintenance of blood volume, lubrication of joints, membranes, and synovial tissue, shock absorption, and then a removal of waste matter and toxins in the body. So, water does a lot as far as the functions in the human body. Okay, so I went a little bit ahead of myself. So, again, I'll reiterate this here. So, water, of course, creates so many important functions in our body. It's regulating temperatures, distributing water soluble nutrients in the body, it's maintaining blood volume, lubricating our joints, shock absorption, as well as the removal of waste. So that's something to keep in mind. And when we talk about sort of getting into the next part of this, which is more on fluid intake. So if you have inadequate fluid intake, it can actually impair a lot of your psychological functions as well as cognitive functions in the body. So if you're not hydrated, it can create an impact on those functions. So definitely be aware of that. Now, there's been, when you talk about water and hydration and things of that sort, so I know that there's been a few people in my life who really struggled with, drinking water, and I'm not going to name names, but water, it's for some people they drink sodas all the time and they drink certain drinks all the time, and they have a trouble getting to water because to them it has no taste. But it's very important that you get water into your body. Your body really needs it. And when you have, anything like sodas and you're constantly drinking them, they have sugar and, so many other additives in them that you're not getting nutrients that you need as it relates to water. So that's something that I've been aware that certain people sort of struggle with that. And for some people, I know that sodas and, Cokes and anything like that has sort of become an addiction. And, you know, as far as that, you just kind of have to be aware of. I mean, it's almost like exercising in a way, getting into a routine of, saying that I'm going to do this. And the same can be said with drinking water. You could set aside, sort of, and it could be the same way as far as like nutrition. You can supplement, when you have nutrition and you're trying to focus on getting better foods. So you're just substituting what was bad. For example, like you're maybe eating candy, you supplement that sort of snack with an apple. You can sort of think of it as that way, and sort of gradually creating a goal, much like exercising, much like nutrition, of making a focus to drink water, each and every day. Now, as far as the intake, when we move further and talking about fluid intake, this is something to keep in mind. And as far as the recommended intake, I would sort of, start small. If you don't think that you can reach this, start small to, sort of get to where you're getting the proper fluid intake. So, as far as for men, the recommended fluid intake for water is 15.5 cups, which is also 124 ounces, which is also 3.7 liters. So, men need slightly more than women. So, when we go to the recommended amount for women, so it's 11.5 cups, 92 ounces, and 2.7 liters for women. So, that's something to keep in mind. And again, if you feel like you cannot reach that in a day, or you're struggling, what I would say is start with a small goal, whether it be and sort of gradually progress. Again, like with exercise or workout, start with I'm going to drink this amount of cups of water today, and then I'm going to gradually increase it as I get used to this, drinking water, this amount of water each day. So I hope that helps. That's the way that I see it as far as getting the recommended fluid intake, because it can be a lot. I know there's some people that have gallon jugs they drink water, and for some people it's not easy to just do that and carry something like that around. But just gradually start with getting the recommended amount of water each and every day. That's the way that I would say. If you just feel like you can't do it instantly, straight off getting, for example, 15.5 cups, that may be difficult to start out. So just gradually sort of progress to that recommended intake. But as long as you're intaking more water, that's going to really benefit your health either way, regardless. You may not be getting the exact fluid intake, it's still going to benefit your health if you're supplementing Coke, with water. So, before I go into as far as being dehydrated, what I want to talk about too, and this can go into, as far as hydration and the fluid intake, what are some of the benefits as far as performance, like as far as exercise and things of that nature? So, there can be, if you show, well, actually, this goes into dehydration. So, if you lack, so like as far as I mentioned the benefits of water before, again, it's going to regulate your body temperature, it's going to help distribute water soluble nutrients, maintain blood volume, help lubricate the joints, synovial tissues, things of that sort. So let's go ahead and sort of discuss what dehydration is and sort of what its negative effects are. Now, I want to discuss that first before I get into exactly how to know if you're dehydrated. So, as far as having inadequate hydration or a mild level of dehydration, you could have the following negative effects. So, it can increase your heart rate, you're going to have a higher blood temperature, you're going to have a higher rate of perceived exertion, which is going to, if you're not getting hydrated, during an exercise, it's going to be harder to get through that exercise. It's going to make that exercise more difficult than it already is. Um, it's going to lower your blood volume. It's going to decrease your cardiac output, going to decrease your blood flow, and it's going to lower the rate of perspiration, which is sweat. So that's something to keep in mind, that there's a lot of negative impacts when it comes to hydration. And, especially when you're performing or if you're doing any kind of exercise, you really need that water. So, levels of dehydration. So, this is a pretty cool guide to sort of know if you're dehydrated, and it's really simple. So, you can basically know if you're dehydrated by the color of your urine. So, basically, when you use the bathroom, you can look at your urine, and by the first three, if your urine is lighter color, that's going to show that you're fully hydrated, that you have enough water in your body and in your system. And it's showing signs of dehydration. So you have reached, so show that you are fully hydrated is 1 to 2. When you get to 3, you're starting to show that sign of dehydration in your body. So when you get to a darker color of yellow, that's the process of dehydration. So it started when you get to sort of this 5 to 8 level as far as, your urine is concerned. So this is something to keep in mind. Definitely sort of be aware of that when you use the bathroom. It's really simple to sort of know. If you have a lighter color, you're hydrated. If you have a darker color, you're dehydrated. It's basically a simple way to sort of understand that. So let's go ahead and move on. As far as this is another topic, and this is a little bit, it's separate from water, but it's something to sort of keep in mind. It's often used, with athletes or anybody who exercises, as far as like sports drinks. So you're thinking like Gatorade, Powerade, things of that sort. So should you drink sports drinks? And this is something that you should keep in mind. So as far as sports drinks, it's not necessary for everybody. If you're training in a low to moderate intensity that is not needed, if you're training in a low to moderate intensity, you do not really need any sports drinks. You're not to that level where you're extremely dehydrated and you need those electrolytes. So if you're training in that low to moderate intensity, you don't really need sports drinks. However, if you're training for more than 90 minutes or in a high heat environment, then it would be a better option for replenishing fluids versus water to drink sports drinks, because it's going to help replenish electrolytes as well. So that's something to keep in mind. So, definitely keep that in mind, because a lot of sports drinks have a lot of sugar. That's one thing. You don't want to take a lot of sugar. If you're just doing low intensity, you don't want all that in your body, when you're doing that. But if you're losing a lot of fluid, you're sweating a lot, then it's likely that you're going to need, more of a Gatorade or Powerade or sports drink, anything of that sort. So that's something to keep in mind. So as far as that's pretty much everything I have. So again, just keep in mind of the fluid intake that you need. When it comes to, if you're a man, you want to get 15.5 cups. That's 124 ounces, 3.7 liters. If you're a woman, you want to get 11.5 cups, 92 ounces, and 2.7 liters. Now, the difference in the water fluid intake for men and women is because of, the amount of water in the body. That's basically the difference. That's why women don't need as much water as men. So definitely keep all that in mind. That's pretty much all I have for you guys today. I hope that you found a lot of great information from this, and I hope this helps you and sort of helps you understand the importance of water and hydration. there's so many things that I could discuss and I could go on and on. But I do want to condense these in a way to where you guys understand them easily, and it's sort of digestible. That's my focus with these streams, is make them digestible, not too much crazy words or too much detailed stuff, but stuff that's simple to understand. So again, if you have any questions about anything, you can email me, you can send me a message through my phone number, and if you do, please be sure to let me know that it is you're interested in you have a question about something or anything of that sort. Just let me know your name so I know, because sometimes I get random text messages and I don't know who it is, and so I don't really answer them. So definitely, reach out. You can DM me on any of the platforms, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, anything of that sort. You can direct message me through there. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. I do want to again mention that the 14-day trial will be starting January 16th, and you can still sign up today. I do have a couple people that have signed up, so definitely keep that in mind. And I look forward to helping you guys in any way possible, whether it be through this or, a trial, because I don't want it to be just about money. I want it to be about sort of building a community, building a group of people who, really want to better themselves. That's my goal, is to inspire and to motivate and to help people is really my main goal. So I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to sell anything, as far as these trials or anything like that. I really want you, really reach your fitness goals and get the information, So thank you guys for watching, and I already have next week's live stream set up and ready to go. So it'll be over vitamins, which will be a really good topic. It sort of expands on what I talked about today. So definitely check that out for next week. It's at the same time at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And that's pretty much all I have. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next stream.